Hello friends, welcome. Have you ever wondered what life would be like if one day your mind completely obeyed you, becoming your most loyal servant? Imagine this. Anything you think about becomes reality. Anything you desire comes to you, and any task you decide to take on gets your full 100% focus without distraction. Picture it. You set your alarm for 5 a.m., and the moment it rings, you open your eyes wide awake and full of energy. When you want to study, your mind locks in like a laser. If you aim to eat healthy, it automatically ignores tempting sweets. If you want to quit a bad habit, your mind pulls you away from it instead of pushing you toward it. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But the truth is, if you truly train yourself to master your mind, this can absolutely become reality. The problem is, in today's world, most of us aren't the masters of our minds. We've become their slaves. Have you ever sat down to study, but within 10 minutes, you find yourself scrolling on your phone? Or maybe while working, you suddenly remember a video you wanted to watch on YouTube, and before you know it, half an hour is gone. Sometimes anger flares up, and you react instantly, even though you know you'll regret it later. Why does this happen? Why do we keep doing things we know we shouldn't? Why does our mind keep pulling us toward bad habits and negative emotions? The truth is, self-control is one of the most powerful forces in life. But if we can't control it, that power turns into our greatest weakness. For centuries, great teachers and philosophers have said the real battle isn't with the outside world, it's with your own mind. Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think you become." Think about it. If your mind constantly pulls you toward procrastination, fear, anger, or laziness, where are you really headed? This reminds me of an old story. In a small village, there lived an old man who often told the children a special tale. "Inside every one of us," he said, "live two wolves. One is the good wolf, calm, patient, hard-working, and honest. The other is the bad wolf, angry, greedy, lazy, and cowardly. These two wolves fight every single day." "Which wolf wins?" the children asked. The old man smiled gently and replied, "The one you choose to feed." And that, my friends, is exactly how our minds work. Inside each of us, there are two forces constantly battling, one lifting us up toward our highest potential, and the other dragging us down into weakness and regret. The side that wins is simply the one we give more power to through our daily thoughts, our habits, and the choices we make. So why is it so hard to control our minds? Why do they sometimes charge ahead like an untamed horse, or jump restlessly from one thing to another like a mischievous monkey? It's because mastering your mind is an art, and no art comes without training and practice. Just like an untrained horse will throw its rider to the ground, an untrained mind will toss us off the path we want to walk. And in today's world, the challenge is even greater. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless notifications, non-stop entertainment. In the past, temptations lived outside our homes. Now, they live in our pockets, lighting up our screens, calling for our attention every few seconds. You might be thinking, "Okay, I get it. But how do I break free from this?" Well, this is where the real journey begins. The very first step to mastering your mind is to identify the true enemy. And no, it's not some person out there. It's the harmful patterns and habits living inside your own mind, quietly steering you away from your goals. If you want to take back control, you must first learn to spot these tricks your mind plays on you. Because until you understand how it operates, you'll never be able to outsmart it. So why does the mind keep overpowering us? Why does it lure us down the wrong path, even when we clearly know what's right? What kind of mindset shift do we need to turn the tables? The answers to those questions start with this truth. Your mind is no simple thing. It's a complex network woven from your habits, your memories, and your emotions, a web that tightens the more you repeat an action. Whether that action is good or bad, your brain builds a familiar trail for it. And here's the catch: your brain loves comfort. It prefers the easiest, most familiar path, even if that path is harmful. That's why, without realizing it, we keep doing what we know we shouldn't. We've reinforced those mental pathways with our own actions so many times that breaking away from them now feels almost impossible. And here's another truth: our mind doesn't live only in the present. It's also chained to the past. Think about it: the moments from our childhood, the experiences that brought us joy or caused us pain, the things people said to us, whether uplifting or hurtful. All of these moments are stored somewhere deep inside us. Often, we don't even realize why we fear certain situations or keep putting off certain tasks. But if we dig deep enough, we'll uncover an old memory sitting quietly at the root of it all. This is the subtle trick of the subconscious mind. It influences our choices without us even realizing it. We like to believe that we make all our decisions consciously, but in reality, our conscious mind holds only about 5% of the power. The other 90% belongs to the subconscious, which is made up of our ingrained habits, fears, and emotional patterns. That's why letting go of a bad habit is so difficult. You can consciously tell yourself, starting tomorrow, I'll change. But if you don't reprogram the subconscious, it won't take long before you slide right back into the old ways. Science supports this too. The brain's wiring forms based on your repeated thoughts and actions. When a thought keeps repeating, the neural connections between certain brain cells grow stronger, making that thought or behavior easier to repeat. If you've been procrastinating for years, your brain has already built a comfortable, well-worn path for it. Changing this requires more than just adopting new habits. You have to dismantle the old ones. And that's no overnight task. It's like carving out a brand new trail through a dense forest. At first, you have to cut through tall grass, level the ground, and clear the way. Then you must walk that same path over and over until it feels familiar and effortless. And the first, most critical step in this entire process: awareness. You must learn to notice in real time when your mind is trying to pull you back into those old patterns and stop yourself right there. In the beginning, this will feel awkward and challenging, just like trying to keep your balance the first time you ride a bicycle. But with practice, it will start to feel natural. Once you master it, your mind, like your body on that bicycle, will know exactly how to stay steady. Once you learn to ride, your body automatically keeps the bicycle balanced without you even thinking about it. The same principle applies here. Once you train your mind, it can eventually keep itself steady. So now we understand why our minds often control us, because they're prisoners of our habits, our old emotional wounds, and the mental pathways we've built ourselves. If we want to change that, we must break free from this mental prison. The question is, how? This is where the next part of the journey begins. Learning to become the master of your own mind, using awareness as your weapon. And the first skill you need to master is something I like to call the art of speaking to your mind. A practice so powerful, it doesn't just change the words in your head, it rewires your brain. Now, talking to your mind isn't as simple as it sounds. We all think we talk to ourselves every day. But in reality, most of the time, we're only listening to our mind, not truly speaking to it in a way that changes its direction. Think about it. You can reason with a friend. You can patiently explain something to your child. You might even persuade a complete stranger with the right words. But when it comes to reasoning with our own minds, most of us either give in immediately or beat ourselves up. And that's one of the biggest differences between people who succeed and those who don't. Your mind is a lot like a small child. If you yell at it, it becomes stubborn. If you try to scare it, it runs away. But if you speak with patience and kindness, it will start to listen. The problem is most of us don't treat our minds this way. For example, when your mind says, "I don't feel like working today," you usually either give in and skip it, or you get angry and scold yourself. You're so lazy. You'll never achieve anything. Both approaches backfire. Speaking to your mind means guiding it with understanding, using logic, emotion, and trust. Let's say you plan to go for a run today, but your mind says, "I'm too tired. I'll go tomorrow." Instead of forcing yourself or quitting, you might say, "I hear you. I know you're tired, but let's just go for 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes you still want to stop, we'll head back." What usually happens? You start, and once you've taken that small step, your mind often surprises you by saying, "You know what? Let's keep going a little longer." That's the art breaking resistance with small, gentle steps, instead of trying to crush it with force. Over time, those small steps create a whole new path in your brain, one that leads you toward the life you truly want. This method works because our mind tends to link fear and procrastination to the big picture. If you tell it, "We have to run for 2 hours," it immediately thinks, "That's way too hard." But if you say, "Let's just run for 5 minutes," it relaxes and agrees. And once it agrees, you've already won the first battle. So can we really rewire our brain with small steps like this? The answer is absolutely yes. Neuroscience confirms it. Your brain records every thought and every action you take. The more you repeat a positive thought or behavior, the stronger the neural pathways for it become. Eventually, that pathway becomes so well built that your mind treats it as the normal way to think and act. That's the magic of positive self-talk. It's not just motivational fluff. It's a way to gradually reprogram your subconscious mind. But there's a catch. Positive self-talk doesn't mean lying to yourself. If you're failing at something, but keep telling yourself, "I'm the most successful person in the world," your subconscious will reject it instantly. It knows you're bluffing. Instead, say something truthful but empowering, like, "I'm learning. I'm improving every single day. And soon I'll be able to do this." This works because it's rooted in reality while still pointing you forward. Your mind begins to believe it, and once it believes, it changes. Here's a simple practice every day. Spend just 5 minutes talking to your mind. Sit down, close your eyes, and address it as if you're speaking to your closest, most trusted friend. Tell it your plans. Share your fears. Ask it to move forward with you. At first, it might feel awkward or even silly, but with time, you'll notice something remarkable. Your mind starts to understand your language. And once it understands, everything changes. Instead of holding you back, it will begin to push you forward. This is the turning point. This is where self-discipline is born. And self-discipline, more than luck, talent, or even intelligence, is what shapes the destiny of a person. So if you truly want to change your life, this is your first and most important weapon. Become friends with your mind. And friendship doesn't come from just listening. It comes from having real conversations. Remember this: your mind can be your greatest enemy, or it can be your most powerful ally. The difference lies in whether you've learned its language, and that language is positive self-talk. Because the greatest battles you will ever fight are not with the world outside, but with yourself. This battle we're talking about, it's not fought with swords or with other people. It's fought with the constant voice in our heads. Sometimes that voice lifts us up, pushing us forward. But other times, it tears us down. And here's the truth: most people unknowingly turn this inner voice into their worst enemy. If the very first whisper you hear when you wake up is something like, "I probably won't get much done today," or "I'll just mess it up again," then believe me, you've already lost half the day's battle before even stepping out of bed. That's negative self-talk. The quiet but powerful words we repeat to ourselves until we start living as if they're true. So let's talk about the first powerful tool to win this battle: positive self-talk. Think about it when you say to yourself, "I just don't feel like it," or "This is beyond my control," or "I always fail." You're not just throwing words into the air. You're writing a script in your mind, and your subconscious, like a diligent recorder, writes it down and plays it back to you again and again. Here's what makes the subconscious so powerful: it believes whatever it hears often enough, whether it's true or false. If you tell yourself every day that you're weak, lazy, or incapable, your subconscious will accept that as reality and eventually shape you to match it. Science even has a name for this: neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you think the same thought, you're building and strengthening connections between neurons. And the more you repeat that thought, the stronger and more permanent those connections become. If you constantly feed your mind negative thoughts, it will get used to walking that dark path. But if you use the same process for positive, empowering thoughts, you can build a new, strong, and uplifting mental pathway. Now let's be clear. Positive self-talk is not about lying to yourself. If you say, "I'm going to win the Olympic gold today," but you've never even trained your mind, will reject it instantly. But if you say, "I'm going to work hard every day, improve every day, and become someone capable of winning," your mind will see it as real and possible. And that belief is the seed from which confidence grows. So how do you actually start using this in daily life? The very first step is awareness. You need to notice what kind of conversations you're having with yourself. Spend one full day simply paying attention. Every time you say something to yourself out loud or silently, pause and ask, "Is this helping me or hurting me?" Once you start paying attention, you might be shocked at how much negativity shows up in your self-talk. But here's the good news. This awareness alone is already half the battle won. Step 2 is to begin your mornings with positive, intentional statements the moment you wake up. For example, "Today I'll give my best. I'm ready to learn. I'm moving closer to my goals." Morning is a golden time for this because your subconscious is most open and receptive right after you wake up. Step 3 is to reframe challenges as opportunities to grow. When difficulties arise, instead of thinking, "Why me?" tell yourself, "This is going to make me stronger. This is how I expand my abilities." By doing this, you transform fear into curiosity and obstacles into stepping stones. Step 4 is to replace harsh self-criticism with self-compassion. If you make a mistake, don't curse yourself. Say, "It's okay, I'm learning. I'll do better next time." This teaches your subconscious that mistakes are not the end. They're simply part of the journey forward. Through small, consistent steps like these, your mind will gradually adapt to a new, healthier pattern. And one day, you'll notice something incredible. The very voice that used to hold you back will now start pushing you ahead. But remember, this isn't some overnight magic trick. It's more like planting a seed. You plant it today, water it daily, and with time, it grows into a strong tree. And once that tree has deep roots, no storm, no matter how fierce, can knock it down. Now, let's move to the second powerful method. Attention control, also known as focus. Attention control is the skill of protecting your mental energy from being scattered and channeling it into the one place where it can create the most impact. Think of the sun's rays spread out. They provide warmth. But when you focus them through a magnifying glass, they can ignite a fire. Your brain works the same way. Scattered attention produces mild results, but focused attention produces extraordinary results. And in today's world, focus has become the rarest and most valuable currency. Look around, your phone buzzes with notifications. Every few minutes, social media throws something new at you every second, and the people around you are constantly asking for your time and energy. In this environment, maintaining deep, uninterrupted focus on one task is harder than ever. Yet this skill, the ability to direct your full attention, is exactly what separates extraordinary people from the ordinary. Attention control isn't just about steering clear of distractions, it's something much deeper. It's about developing the ability to catch your mind in the act whenever it starts to wander, and gently but firmly guide it back to the work that truly matters. To build this skill, you have to work on 3 interconnected levels: your body, your mind, and your environment. First, the body. A tired body cannot sustain focus. If you're running on too little sleep, dehydrated, or eating poorly, your concentration will be as shaky as the mood of a hungry person. This means that real attention control actually begins with your lifestyle. Quality sleep. Proper hydration and balanced nutrition give your brain the fuel it needs to stay sharp for long stretches of time. Second, the mind. This is where the real challenge lies. Your brain generates tens of thousands of thoughts every single day. Scientists estimate anywhere from 60,000 to 70,000. Most of these are either repetitive, irrelevant, or simply noise. Attention control means being able to sift through that mental crowd and grab hold of only the thoughts that serve your current goal. One of the most effective ways to train this is the Pomodoro technique. The idea is beautifully simple: focus on just one task for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Repeat this cycle. It works because our brains perform better in short, concentrated bursts, and the breaks act as a mental reset, keeping you fresh and engaged instead of drained. Third, the environment. No matter how strong your willpower is, if you're surrounded by constant interruptions, staying focused will feel like swimming upstream. That's why before you even start working, you need to set up an environment designed for focus. Silence your phone or put it on Do Not Disturb. Close any browser tabs that aren't relevant. Keep only the tools and materials you actually need for the task at hand in front of you. But here's the key: attention control isn't just about clever tricks or hacks. It's a discipline, a habit. Something you train over time, much like building a muscle at the gym. At first it feels tough, even uncomfortable. But with regular, deliberate practice, your focus muscle grows stronger, and what once felt impossible becomes second nature. And remember, meditation isn't just about sitting cross-legged in silence for an hour. Meditation doesn't always mean sitting in silence with your eyes closed for an hour. Sometimes, meditation simply means giving your full presence to whatever you're doing. When you're eating, just eat. When you're talking with friends, just talk. When you're exercising, just exercise. This habit of immersing yourself fully in one activity at a time is powerful. Over time, it trains your mind to focus deeply, which dramatically improves your ability to concentrate, not just at work, but in every part of life. And if you're wondering whether this is only for massive goals, absolutely not. Whether you're preparing for an exam, learning a new skill, running a business, or simply reading a book, focus can multiply your progress many times over. One of the greatest benefits of attention control is that it can take you into the flow state, that magical mental space where you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. In flow, time seems to vanish, distractions fade away, and your work feels almost effortless. Studies show that people in a flow state are up to 5 times more productive than usual. So think of it this way. If positive self-talk prepares your mind, focus is the weapon that channels your energy in the right direction. And when you combine the two, you stop being just a dreamer. You become the person who turns dreams into reality. Now let's move to the third method of continuity, also known as consistency. Consistency is the magic that transforms small daily actions into massive results. It's the quiet, invisible force that can turn someone with average skills into someone extraordinary. If you look closely at the lives of almost every highly successful person, you'll notice one common thread. They showed up day after day, regardless of the weather, their mood, or the challenges around them. Think about it. Focus might help you dive deeply into a task, but if you only stick with it for a week and then stop, all that momentum evaporates. It's like going to the gym every day for a week and expecting a complete body transformation. It just doesn't work that way. Consistency is the bridge between effort and results. And here's where many people get it wrong. They think consistency means grinding away for hours every single day. In reality, consistency is about taking small, deliberate, meaningful steps every day, or at least on a regular schedule. And here's the beautiful truth. If you get just 1% better each day, those small improvements compound over time, leading to extraordinary change. If you improve by just way each day, by the end of a year, you'll be roughly 10 times better than when you started. That's not just math, it's magic. The magic of the compound effect. To maintain consistency, there are 3 things you must do. First, create a routine. A solid routine saves your mind from wasting energy, deciding what to do each day. When your work follows a fixed pattern, your brain doesn't burn energy on decision-making. That energy goes directly into the task itself. That's why so many highly successful people treat their morning and evening routines as sacred. Second, track your progress. You can't improve what you don't measure. Whether you're learning a language, building fitness, or writing a book, track your progress in writing. A simple calendar, notebook, or app is enough. Checking off each day's effort gives you a sense of accomplishment and motivates you to keep going. Third, be flexible. Consistency isn't about rigid stubbornness. It's about resilience. Life will throw curveballs, and sometimes plans must change. Flexibility means you can adjust your approach without abandoning your goal. If you can't do your full workout, do some stretches. If you can't read an entire chapter, read 2 pages. The key is never break the habit completely. One of the greatest threats to consistency is perfectionism. The idea that you shouldn't start until you can do it perfectly. That mindset defeats you before you even begin. Remember, even a small, imperfect effort is far better than no effort at all. Another challenge is boredom. At the start of a new journey, there's excitement and novelty. But over time, the thrill fades, and the work starts to feel repetitive. This is when most people quit. The real winner is the one who pushes through boredom, because this is the moment when habit takes over from raw motivation. At that point, you do the work, not just because you're inspired, but because it's become part of who you are. And that's the deeper psychology of consistency. It changes your identity. Do something every day, and your mind starts to see you as that kind of person. Write daily, and you begin to see yourself as a writer. Run daily, and you start to see yourself as a runner. This identity shift cements the habit even further. So positive self-talk connects you to your mind. Focus channels your attention. Consistency strengthens that attention over time. At this stage, you're no longer someone who just starts. You're someone who finishes. Now we move to the fourth method, shielding yourself from negativity. Negativity can come from outside, like hurtful words, toxic social media, or discouraging environments, or from within in the form of self-doubt. Either way, it drains your energy and breaks your concentration. To protect yourself, there are 3 steps. Control your inputs. Stay away from unnecessary negative news, pointless drama, and anything that drags you down. 2. Clean your circles. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not tear you apart. 3. Practice mental detox. Take 1 day a week away from technology and reconnect with yourself. By creating a protective shield around your mind, outside negativity loses its power to shake you. Finally, we reach the 5th and last method, the art of self-control or self-discipline. Motivation gets you started. Self-control takes you all the way to your goal. It's about keeping your promises to yourself, resisting short-term temptations, and identifying and overcoming your weaknesses. Self-discipline isn't a trait you're born with. It's a muscle you build. Start small, wake up on time. Study a little every day. Finish the work you've committed to. Every small victory strengthens your discipline muscle. And here's the ultimate reward of self-control. You become the master of your mind. And once your mind is truly on your side, no goal is too far. No dream too big. So keep practicing, keep showing up, and keep building the inner strength that will carry you anywhere you want to go. I'll see you in another inspiring video. Until then, take care and keep moving forward.